I know we've spoken ad nauseum about Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, and last week we spoke about Geno Smith and the Seahawks. I'm sorry if you guys hear anything outside.
All I
Um,
hear is dimes coming out of your mouth.
so I don't know if you guys heard, but Pete Carroll took some subtle shots at Russell Wilson this week.
Did he?
I'm gonna read this to you guys. He says, if you notice, Geno's going off of the wristband, and that's a big help, Carroll said. It smoothed things out, sped things up, cleaned things up, and that's part of it too. We never did that before. There was resistance to that, so we didn't do that before. So, I guess somebody had asked Russell Wilson about this, and his response back was, won a lot of games without one on the wrist.
Not a lot of playoff games after the Legion of Boom.
I just felt like I wanted to point that one out specifically because it's a shame that these two, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, possibly two future Hall of Famers, are coming at each other. Even if it's people are saying this is not a shot at one another, but it definitely feels like it is. They've had a lot of success together in the NFC West. For any one of them to be taking shots at each other, I think they benefited greatly from one another. So to see stuff like this, it's kind of disappointing.
And it's not just those two pending Hall of Famers, because back in, I guess it was October, when Richard Sherman had Marshawn Lynch on his podcast under the Volume Network, Marshawn Lynch goes, or no, Richard Sherman goes, yeah, on the struggle bus talking about rests. At this point, the Broncos offense looks terrible, like it has all year. And then Marshawn goes, man, I want to reach out to Dog. Then Sherman goes, yeah, we talked to him, his manager. And Lynch goes, if I can't call you direct, I ain't calling you, especially if I went to war with you. What on earth?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's one of the weirdest things that I heard. I remember that. And my first thought is, dude, you're a leader of men. You're the quarterback. And you're telling me people can't just reach out to you instantly. You can't give them your number directly. Like, dude, you share a locker room you bleed with these guys. You sweat with these guys. You go to war with them every single week. And you make yourself unavailable that way? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not because that gets into the he said, she said type thing, and I don't really get into that because that's just high school drama. That's people just not really, I guess, vibing with each other alike. And we know the history of Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll in there. But in terms of the Pete Carroll Russell Wilson uh, feud, I guess you could say, or whatever, I agree with Justin. It's a little disappointing. It's the similar feeling I had. I mean, this was more amplified because it was my quarterback and my team. But Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, when all those reports started to come out, and it we start to understand more that in this league, you can win together and have incredible success together, but not really be on the same page and not really get down with each other. We saw that with MJ and Scottie Pippen apparently, and Dennis Rodman too. That they didn't really hang out off the court or whatever together. Um, we know that with Bill and Tom. Bill really kept everybody at an arm's distance, and we're seeing it now. Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson. It's a sad thing to see that they can't get along together. But I mean, like they always say, winning solves anything, and winning heals all wounds. So yeah, but it's not. It's just I think it's really petty to be seeing shots taken, especially. I mean, Pete Carroll. I mean, come on, man. You're the head coach of your team. You should be worrying about your team, not really take because he knows what he's doing. Like, let's be honest. He knows what he's doing. He's taking a shot. He's taking a public shot too. Like, this isn't just behind the scenes where he's talking just to Gino, where he can hype Gino up and bring Russell down, but behind the scenes and nobody's hearing about it. But you know, when you're in the public in media sessions and you say that everybody knows you're going to be talking about Russell Wilson, and it's just unnecessary, especially where Russell. I mean, why are we kicking the man while he's down already? Like, come on.
Fighting
Like,
over
let
wristbands over here.
yeah, but like let's just show some good character, Pete Carroll. Let's move on. Like, just move on.
Yeah,
The
it's
guy's in
true.
his
Your
glory.
your your team's on the top of the NFC West right now. There's no
Yeah,
reason for you to be looking down. You should be looking ahead. You
Like they
know,
say, never punch down.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Best Amp. When it comes to sports betting, guys, all of us want to make the most money, want to get the best bang for our buck. And with the Best Amp app, what they'll provide you with is the best odds across the sports betting market. All you have to do is download their completely free app and sign up for any of the variety of sports books out there so that you can give yourself an edge in the game. Be sure to bet like a pro with the Best Amp app. Not only is it free, but it provides so many other perks. Custom betting trackers. If you want to sell any picks, and there's no commission, royalty free. You get the entire cut. Thank you to Best Amp for supporting our show. And as always, let's get back to it.
One thing that I want to bring up, and I think is actually the biggest news, and I mean, John brought up injury news, and that this is the biggest injury news. I completely disagree with that. There's a guy by the name of I don't know if you guys have heard of him. You might have. He
can I
plays
take
up.
a guess?
He plays up in New York. But a lot of people forget about that he plays in New York. His name is Josh Allen. Yeah, he's dealing with a UCL injury in his elbow. I didn't even know that was a thing. Apparently there's all these CLs that I don't even know about that in your body. But he got injured late in the game last week while throwing the ball. It was a very weird angle. It looked really bad. And he is day to day right now. So I think that's the biggest story of the week. I mean, because if Josh Allen's down, do you guys have any faith in the Buffalo Bills?
Well, big picture, he's day to day, did not practice yesterday on Wednesday. Josh Allen's one of those guys where I feel like he'll just be back sooner rather than later, whether it's next week. If he doesn't play this week against the Vikings, quite honestly, that could still be, let's say they lose that game, they'll be just fine. They're going to climb back in the division. They're the best team here. In the big picture, one loss right now in the season, I don't think that's going to affect Buffalo seeding, just because of the fact I don't think the Jets and the Dolphins are going to be able to out.
You know that they're 0-2 right now in the division, right?
Yeah, I don't see that keeping up.
Yeah, honestly, if I were the Bills, just for this week, who do they have this week?
Vikings.
The Vikings. With I guess not a exactly dominant AFC East. Like every year, you're pretty much you're better than everybody in that division. You've had some tough losses, but the Bills still know they're better. I would proceed on this road of caution with Josh Allen because a UCL injury is no joke as a baseball player. That's the result of a Tommy John surgery, and that'll sideline a pitcher for a whole season. So I would proceed with caution. You don't want him to overthrow and mess that thing up any further because you have higher aspirations than the Jets right now. So you have higher aspirations than what the Vikings initially expected themselves doing this season. They have Super Bowl hopes, and you're not going to do that if your quarterback can't throw the football. So I'd probably give him a week.
And you know what, Justin? This is kind of funny. So coming into the season, I talked up Tua and said he'd have a very good year. Not the season he's had. I'm still surprised by the level he played at. But Britton told me, look, John, there is a reason the Dolphins signed Teddy Bridgewater because they don't fully believe in that quarterback. So Teddy's there to make him compete. They need an extra quarterback, an extra arm. And then one commenter said, okay, so if that's the case, then why did the Bills sign Case Keenum? He's one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. Does that mean they don't actually believe in Josh Allen? And it's funny to me because this week they got the Vikings at home. And who was the last quarterback to take the Vikings deep in the playoffs? Case Keenum, one of their greatest playoff moments. And so I look at the UCL. You talked about as a baseball player. Ben Roethlisberger had these issues. I'm pretty sure in his UCL. I'm about to look it up. And he had so many different tendons. They're detached. They had to reattach them surgically, which sounds disgusting. And I look at Josh Allen. He's so young. And Brandon's talked about it before. He hasn't fully protected his body. If I'm Buffalo, he is the knight in shining armor here. Let Case Keenum beat the Vikings this week because he surely can with offense. And then next week, you've got
Browns.
the Browns and then the Lions.
So I just want to, comment on that little pot shot you took. So, I can't believe you just quoted I'll be kind, a YouTube commenter. When you know full damn well that it's not the same situation. These things are not equal. Understand why I said they brought in Teddy Bridgewater. It's because the regime of old did not believe in Tua Tagovailoa. So there was cause to pause for me, and that there were reports out that they didn't really believe in Tua Tagovailoa. They had concerns about his health. They had concerns about his on the play field. That's why I was saying they brought in Teddy Bridgewater to compete. Everything I said was correct and factual. That's the truth. Because again, his injuries came about. We saw it. He missed 3 straight games. Did he not? It happened, and they lost 3 straight. So the Josh Allen with Case Keenum, okay, yeah, they have a good backup quarterback, but that's not equal. Everybody knows the Buffalo Bills are fully in Josh Allen, and that's their quarterback of the future. It was different with Tua. The regime, and there were reports out that they didn't have 100% full trust in Tua Tagovailoa. So,
Hey, look,
all I
the
gotta
fact
say.
of the matter is, the Browns will still be starting Jacoby Brissett, and Case Keenum could have an opportunity these next 2 weeks to get revenge on 2 of his former teams, in the Vikings and the Browns. And when given the coaching, the defense, and the all-around talent on the offense, I think Case has the potential to lead them 2 wins. And then after that Browns game at the Lions, the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins. So when when Josh Allen's getting closer to full strength in the next 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully full strength, you can have your quarterback right when the schedule is going to start to heat up at the end of the year. And that's huge.
Yeah, that's one of the luxuries that the Bills have, is that they know if Josh Allen can't play for a week or two, that they have a deep enough team to find a way to win games. Like they can go 2-0 if Josh Allen misses 2 games. I have no doubt in my mind about that. So they're in a decent spot right now. Give Josh Allen all the rest he needs. Let him take care of that elbow, because, like I said, this team has Super Bowl aspirations. Don't mess it up.
That's really the one thing that potentially could. So
Yeah.
with all that out of the way, fellas,
Actually, I have one more thing,
let's hear it.
because we didn't hear an injury. Matt Stafford was put onto concussion protocol. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Didn't-
If the Rams are already in a lot of crap as it is, to potentially be out of a quarterback going up against a divisional opponent in Arizona, it just seems to be getting worse and worse for Arizona. They're saying he's day to day, so maybe he might be on track to play, but still, with all the concussion stuff going on this year, still definitely makes me question my pick for the Rams this week.
And I had the Rams winning 11 games going into this year.
I think
I was,
we all had.
I was the
all had
lowest one on
winning
them
a lot.
too. I was the lowest one. They said they'd be a first round exit.
Mm.
And let's be honest, Matthew Stafford this year has not been good. The Rams have many problems. I feel Stafford's play may be a symptom of the bad offensive line losing a
No,
couple of key
no,
vets.
no, it's not. Matthew Stafford is not the reason that this offense is bad. So you can just stop that and cut that right there. It's the offensive line. That's the number one reason. And then the no run game. It is not Matthew Stafford's fault. Are you kidding me? I can literally pull up the numbers that show when he is not pressured, he is putting up his numbers that he was putting up last year. And when he is pressured, he is playing terrible. It is directly correlated to the offensive line. That's the number one issue. So, I mean, can we stop that?
The best quarterbacks play out of structure.
No, but can we stop that though? Right?
I'm just being honest. The best ones
again,
play out of structure well.
Wait, hold on. Because again, you just said best quarterbacks to play that. Patrick Mahomes had no offensive line in the Super Bowl. How many points did he put up? He put up 9 points and got blew the hell out. You cannot win in this league without an offensive line. You have said that too to me many weeks ago, a couple months ago. You said that to me. So now you're changing your point that great quarterbacks can play without a terrible offensive line. Name me them.
Jalen Ramsey said after their loss against the Buccaneers, the defense should not have to go back on the field. Simple. Got to have dogs who are going to get it, go and get it. We shouldn't come to the sideline after a big stop like that, and our coaches or the other side or whoever yelling us, we're going to need y'all one more time. We gonna need you. This is broken English. Like, what the F? We just made a big stop, turnover on downs with a minute and some change left and no timeouts for nobody. So it's pretty safe to assume the defense of the Rams is fed up that their offense can't stay in the field. And this has been an issue with the Packers, the Steelers, and a few other playoff teams.
Yeah, but you don't say that. You should not. You don't say that, especially when you got put back out on the field and had a chance to win the game again, and you came up short. So you don't say that.
And one hell of a leader in Cameron Hayward responded and basically was like, I can only speak for our team, but when our offense comes up short, you just think as a defense, we got to do more. And so there's really a shift in whether or not it's the mindset they have or the way they come out to media. Jalen Ramsey's frustration can't boil into you calling out your offense to the public.
You don't do that. Don't do that, especially in that situation where you gave up the game. I mean, yes, the offense didn't get it done, but Bucks defense showed up. Rams defense, you just stopped the Buccaneers offense from getting in the end zone. You got another chance to do it again, 44 seconds. It's on you guys, buddy. So, and you're the Jalen, especially when you're the one who's playing how many yards off of Scotty Miller and letting them just go right. I mean, but okay. Yeah, let's move on, John.
Let's move on. I feel bad for Sean McVay, and kudos to him for coaching after his grandfather had passed away earlier in the week. I'm a huge advocate of what McVay has been able to do, in spite of a team that has, not a very good future.